Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anita Roman. During that press conference, the North Las Vegas Police Department announced that 2 suspects have now been taken into custody in the shooting death. None are more angry than Nevada Governor Jim Gibbons, who joins us live today. We spoke briefly, Governor, yesterday, and you said you feel the same thing these people feel. Police tell us that he will be charged with possession of an explosive device, which is a felony. Are they going to go back and forth?
Exactly. We go back and forth.
It's an issue that Southern Nevada is familiar with. 2 winters ago, thousands of wild horses were rounded up. The IRS expects to receive 141 million tax returns, and the program is called Radio Pepla, which actually means the People's Radio, and it airs every Saturday night from 6 until 7 p.m. Up in Henderson today to raise awareness and money for the many organizations dedicated to helping homeless teens. Building, Benny, you're on the 8th floor. The gentleman was in the 7th floor, so you saw the SWAT team on your floor trying to make entry. They're concerned about trash in the detention basins, and that all starts right here. This is a perfect example of what not to do. With slight improvements in the economy boosting consumer confidence, many people see Super Bowl Sunday as a reason to splurge on that flat screen television they've been eyeing for quite some time. And retailers are doing their part. They're stocking shelves and lowering prices for those who have their hearts set on watching the game in better quality. Sheriff Joe Arpaio appeared as a guest on a local radio show this morning, and this afternoon he was set to address a crowd that had gathered here at Stoney's for a First Friday event, but not before being met by a lot of opposition. Angry words greeted Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
I wish I could talk to him. They won't let me talk to him. They scream. You hear that?
What started as a peaceful protest against Arizona's immigration law quickly turned into a heated rally when the controversial sheriff walked over to the crowd.
We don't support racism here in Nevada. That is what his law is based on, racism and hate.
So I'm here to tell Sheriff Joe that his kind of politics don't work in Nevada.
Rally organizer and state director of Reform Immigration for America, Michael Flores, says he's worried that the laws Sheriff Arpaio upholds are unconstitutional, unjust, and inhumane.
This is because we don't want his ways coming here. We don't want anything that he's about to be here. We're standing up for our brothers and sisters in Arizona.
There's concern that what's happening with Arizona law could happen here in Nevada. But that's exactly what his supporters and Sheriff Arpaio say should happen.
Sheriff Joe is trying to enforce the law. Washington is not helping.
We're a neighboring state. Many of the people we catch are heading to Las Vegas. If we could work together with the same law, that would help out.
Citizen Outreach, the nonprofit organization that sponsored the First Friday event, actually says it invited Sheriff Joe to be a guest way back in December, long before the new law was passed in Arizona. Reporting live, Anita Roman, News 3. Back to you in the studio. Billie Jean James and her husband Bill used to bring their Chihuahua to Silverado Park every morning at 7 a.m. And James hasn't been here in over a week. Instead, her picture is here on a missing persons poster in hopes that it will bring the 67-year-old home. Earlier today, while her friends and family planned a vigil that will be held here at the park, Metro resumed its search for Billie and eliminated potential suspects.
I feel her, and I feel her presence.
Bill James misses his wife. It's been exactly 7 days since he's seen her last.
Every day's worse. It's like this waiting.
James walks the garden Billie Jean lovingly planted, praying for his partner of 40 years.
We haven't checked all in this area yet.
Nearby, trained volunteers and officers from Metro's Missing Persons Unit search for clues to the 67-year-old's disappearance.
We are just methodically, by grid, going to go through this area all the way to the South Point, and then by grid we'll go from this property all the way to the resort.
Billie Jean James simply vanished from her home in the south part of the Las Vegas Valley on April 22nd. She left her purse, wallet, cell phone, and vehicle behind. Photographs paint a picture of a happy, fun-loving, active woman who friends and family say was an environmentalist who loved to spend time outdoors and to hike.
So it's not far for her to go 10 or 15 miles on a normal hike if she planned it and was going to do it with her husband. But I mean, that mountain range right there is only 5 to 7 miles away.
Because I'm afraid, I really am.
A lack of clues has left those who knew her best wondering what will happen next and when Billie Jean will surface again. Just like her loved ones, Metro says it will not give up its search, for now eliminating several people as suspects, including Bill James.
Bill told me that he was told, well, we know you definitely were not involved in your wife's disappearance.
James says he will continue to wait for his wife to come home. In the meantime, tending to the garden she was so proud of.
Still think that she's out in the city somewhere or in a hospital, and I'm going to get a call any day now, and she's going to be okay.
This is the latest missing persons poster Metro has put out. Detectives ask if you have seen Billie Jean James to please call the missing persons department as soon as possible. As far as the vigil, it will be held here at Silverado Park at 7 p.m. Everybody is invited to attend. Reporting live, Anita, Roman News 3. Back to you in the studio.
20-year-old Sequoia Pierce describes her fiancé Trayvon Cole as loving, generous, and kind. She admits he used marijuana recreationally, but says he was not a drug dealer, that police had no reason to kick down their door and shoot the man she was going to spend the rest of her life with.
You guys came out together. Sequoia Pierce doesn't understand why the father of her unborn child is gone.
All I could say was, is he okay? Like, is he okay? Like, did you guys kill him, or is he okay?
21-year-old Trayvon Cole was killed Friday night, shot by detectives serving a search warrant at the apartment he shared with Pierce.
We watched TV. And it was about 9 o'clock. This is about 9 o'clock a.m. And there was like a knock at the door. And then the knock got a little harder, you know. And I thought it was my mom, honestly.
Pierce says, not wanting to be bothered, she hid in her closet. Cole headed for the bathroom. Soon after, Pierce heard glass breaking and found herself confronted by detectives she says pointed a gun at her. Soon after, she heard a single shot.
I seen him, like, just pouring with blood, like, from the side, like, pouring with blood. Like, they didn't shoot through the door, like the door was closed or anything. Like, they just shot him, like, in plain sight.
He didn't have a gun. You have no right to shoot him.
Angry about what happened, Trina Cole, Pierce's mother, fears this was a case of mistaken identity. Cole says the search warrant detectives executed did not have either resident's name on it, that her daughter and her fiancé only moved into the place last month. She says the shooting was not justified.
Something occurred that caused the officer to shoot. I think I could be good to say that. And it was during the course of a warrant, and as you well know, narcotics warrants are all high-risk warrants.
Metro has not said if Cole had a weapon, but confirms he made a move towards a single detective. Pierce, however, doesn't think that was reason enough to kill a man she has loved since she was 15.
I never signed up to be a single parent. And now I'm, like, forced to do this on my own. He was all I knew. Like, we were going to make it.
Pierce did tell us that she heard her fiancé say a few words to the detective before he was shot. She says he repeated the words, "all right," twice. The search warrant detectives served last night was for the apartment Pierce and Cole lived in. It did say that detectives were searching for marijuana and other items involved in the sale of it. Big news out of the Clark County School District. The superintendent says he is stepping down. The union is hoping to calm the tension with a new offer that includes furloughs and pay cuts. News 3's Matt Kozar tells us how the union is coping with current layoffs while also planning for the future. Mayor Oscar Goodman suggested firing all city employees and hiring back workers at a lesser wage, but he backed off that idea after getting an opinion from the city's attorney.
States